Hey guys, it's Angie Sanchez here hanging out on my floor again. Today we're going to talk about why the current moment is so important. I was recently interviewed in a blog called the NP Journal, and I had a very interesting question on there that I wanted to elaborate on, and it was regarding past life regression and how that affects our future self or who we might become. So I wanted to emphasize on that. The exact question was, is past life regression a helpful tool in not only gaining a higher insight in who we have been and are at this moment, but who we might become? How does this affect our mind, body, and spirit? So my answer to that was, who we might become is not as important as who we are in the current moment or what we're doing in the current moment. So whatever our actions are now are a ripple effect to who we may become. So for example, if you are hanging out on your couch on social media for hours on end, I'm sorry, but that is not contributing much to who you might become. I've fallen into this trap. I'm sure many people fall into this trap, but whatever it is that you want to pursue, whatever it is that you want to become, you have to do things to work towards that you. I love to use social media for inspiration. There are a few accounts that I just love going to at the end of the day. I go crazy on my likes and I retweet some stuff, like some stuff. I get it. Like, I get being on social media, but there is a limit. Once you start finding yourself comparing yourself to other people, I think it's a little bit harmful, and you can definitely kind of set yourself back in that sense that you're comparing yourself to others. It's happened. It happens to me. I'm sure it happens to many people. So use it for inspiration. If you are gonna spend your time browsing through social media, use it as inspiration. Use it to fire up your light, your ignition. But once you've reached that point of no return, there's no returning. So definitely be conscious of your use. So here are 3 questions that you can ask yourself as to what you can do in the current moment to better that person that you're going to become. What can I do right now to act on an idea? What can I do to finish a project I started but put aside? What can I do right now to go face on with a belief that I'm allowing to stop me from taking the next step? In a sense, past life regression is designed to remind you of those patterns that you've lived in not only this life, but past lives or other dimensions, to say the least. So the key is to recognize the pattern. The key is it's almost like an alcoholic admitting that or recognizing that they are an alcoholic. Once you acknowledge the problem, once you acknowledge whatever it is that you're facing that's blocking you from freedom, it loses its power. It loses its power over you. It loses its power over your decision. For example, I've had clients go back to lives where they were dogs, and I might have talked about this in a different video, but it's one of my favorite examples, but they go back to lives with their dogs and they experience pure joy, pure bliss, freedom, just running through the grass. They describe it. I've even had one client that was kind of like panting from running around in a field of grass or in a meadow. Several clients go back to lives with their dogs, which reminds me of the movie A Dog's Purpose. If you haven't seen it, I love it. It's pretty awesome. So what the higher self emphasizes is that this person has forgotten what it feels like to be joyful, emphasizes what it feels like to be loved unconditionally. That's something that client has forgotten in their present time, in their present life. So recognizing or reliving that moment is triggering this muscle memory of pure joy. That is one of the purposes of past life regression. I believe that certain practitioners have an array of different clients that come to them, and there are certain clients that come with whether it's like an illness or some physical healing. For me, it's been a lot of emotional healing. So this is my personal experience as a facilitator, as a practitioner, but there are other practitioners that I'm sure have had different experiences. The question is why the current moment is so important. It's important to address any fears that you may have about the future. It's important to address any blocks that you may be holding yourself from being the best you that you can be. It's important to recognize whatever that fear is rooted in, whether it's a fear of being criticized, whether it's a fear of not being good enough, whether it's a fear of not being prepared enough, not having the credentials. Recognize what that is and face it head on. Face it, why it is that you feel that way. What is the root of that? And that's where you start making those adjustments. Once you start making those adjustments in the current moment, you will find yourself moving forward in life. You will find yourself making decisions to better yourself. This awareness that you create is an expansion of who you are. It's an expansion of who you are in the world. Whatever you're wanting to do it while connecting with God energy, and do it from who you are. Do it from the person that you are, and people will resonate with that. For me personally, the goal is to have one person resonate with this message. So know that if it's shifting something within you, it will shift something within someone else. So do practice this. Do practice. I'm fearful of being the best person I can because I'm afraid people are going to criticize me. Do it and see what happens. And if someone criticizes you, see what you'll do about it. See if you will outshine it. And I encourage you to outshine it. But once you take that step further, you're one step further from the not being who you are. You're one step, you've broken that initial barrier. You've expanded your awareness just one little bit, and that one little bit is going to push you to help the person that you will become. It's going to push you to maximize that you that will show up to the world. And what will happen is you'll want to explore more of that. You'll want to explore more of what will happen if I address this next fear. What will happen if I address this next fear? What will happen if I address this next self-imposed belief that is not real, it's not true, but let's kind of chip at it. Let's see what happens. And it's an exercise, and then it becomes kind of like a game. It becomes kind of like this exploration that you get to do within yourself and for yourself. And there's nothing, I'm a big advocate for doing things for yourself, not selfishly, but for the betterment of yourself and the betterment of all those around you. So I always say for yourself, for you, but what I mean is because by you being a better you, you are encouraging all those around you to be a better them, to be who they are in your presence. And that's one thing that I cherish is I feel that the people in my life show up authentically, and that's because I cherish who they are authentically. So it's just a very beautiful relationship to have with people, and just to not be judgmental, but to accept them as they are and to embrace them as they are and wherever they are, because we've all gone through our personal journeys and we're all here together. We're all kind of exploring this life together. So and even if you feel emotional about something, express yourself and don't hold that in, but share it. And once you share it, recognize what it is that triggered that emotion. And that's how you expand. That's how you expand on a minimal scale that will eventually be this grand scale of who you are in a year from now or in 6 months from now. So thank you guys so much for watching this. I will link that complete blog post under in the comment section. Do comment, like this video, subscribe. I have many more awesome videos coming. Yeah, thank you so much, you guys. I will see you guys soon. Have a lovely day. And I'm sending you guys lots of love. Bye.